The 1st Brigade Combat Team is comprised of 6 battalions and a headquarters company. It's part of a test subject for the Army's new Brigade Combat Teams, or BCTs. The Army believes the Brigade Combat Team transition now underway will improve the Army's fighting and deployment capabilities. Each of these units will be able to deploy quicker, and they will be able to combine with other units once arrived at battle destinations. Though there were growing pains, the 10th Mountain Division has grown even more powerful as a result of the transformation.
As luck would have it, we are in fact the first completely transformed light infantry brigade to deploy to combat.
The 1st of the 87th Infantry was one of the original 10th Mountain units to fight and train specifically for mountain warfare. Now they continue their legacy in Iraq by guarding the Abu Ghraib prison area, as well as working closely with the Iraqi Army and police in order to help gradually transfer authority over to the Iraqi military.
It's really working the combined operations with Iraqi security forces, introducing national police into the battle space in order to not only improve the perception but also the reality of eliminating this perceived or actual sectarian violence.
The 1st Battalion 87th Infantry is a powerful unit that has seen great changes in their area of operation as a result of their efforts.
We're bringing it to the enemy. We're tying them up. They have to bring the fight here, and we're keeping them tied up, and we're taking it to them every day. It's drawn them down. I definitely know it's had an effect on them.
The 2nd Battalion of the 22nd Infantry, also known as the Triple Deuce, has a long history, including the attack on Normandy in the Second World War, landing at the beach on the early morning hours of D-Day. The battalion is arguably one of the most proactive units in Iraq today, sustaining many air assault missions as well as door-to-door quests in order to hunt down insurgents where they live and provide a better quality of life for Iraqis.
We've chased down terrorists, we've minimized the IED threat and the mortar threat on the FOB here at Liberty. And now we're out in the countryside meeting some of the folks that really just need a better way. And every day we do what we can to help them out through humanitarian assistance, rebuilding their schools, and providing power and water to their neighborhoods.
Standards, discipline, and that's the core of the individuals. It tells something to the enemy. When they see a standard-driven individual with discipline, it's giving them the notion that, hey, look, that is a unit that we don't want to mess with.
The 1st Squadron, 71st Cavalry, is not only a reconnaissance unit, but also provides humanitarian assistance to enhance the quality of life for Iraqis. The brigade is also equipped with a field artillery unit that remains at a constant ready to provide heavy fire support if the situation arises.
3-6 Field Artillery has got 2 batteries of howitzers, 105mm howitzers. They have served as an area defense force for the Victory Base complex. A very tough mission, providing force protection for all of the soldiers, sailors, and airmen that live and work at the Victory Base complex.
So I've got 17 kilometers of perimeter that I'm responsible to secure, including 3 entry control points, 21 towers, and then outside the western portion of IAP, I've got a small area of operations that we patrol and do civil affairs and information operations and all the other things you would do in any other AO.
The Brigade Special Troops Battalion is a new concept for the Army. The unit is comprised of several different assets in order to support the newly formed Brigade Combat Teams.
Their Alpha Company is an engineer company, their Bravo Company is a military intelligence company, and their Charlie Company is a signal company. It's obviously responsible for providing signal support for the entire Brigade Combat Team. The Alpha Company, the engineer company, has been the one that within the BSTB spends the bulk of their time outside of the wire. And they have a Buffalo capability. That is a capability that allows them to go out there and search for improvised explosives devices, all in an effort to find these IEDs before they actually explode.
The battalion headquarters' primary mission is to command and control the movements of its assets throughout the brigade's AO. It also has a dual purpose in that it supports the brigade and its subordinate commands as the subject matter experts for IEDs.
I think one of the greatest challenges in the Special Troops Battalion is having to try and train 51 different MOSs across 14 different branches and try and build that into a single cohesive battalion that does its mission for this brigade combat team.
Last but certainly not least is our Brigade Support Battalion, 10th BSB, which is in fact the largest unit, and largest because in addition to what is again a headquarters company, a distribution capability, as well as our maintenance capability and our medical, that's the Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, they also have forward support companies.
We have the responsibility to support the brigade so they can conduct their operations. So we're really an enabler to their operations. We've been involved in training the Iraqis in the areas that were suited to do that. We've had medical folks that have gone out not only to help with winning the confidence of the people through what we call MedCaps, but we've also actually had medics that go and conduct training of the Iraqi forces that are now standing up to make them as proficient as our medics and our combat lifesavers.
The 1st Brigade Combat Team was also supported by the 1st Cavalry, 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment out of Fort Irwin, California, for the first half of their tour in Iraq. The 111 ACR worked closely with Iraqi forces and made a huge positive impact on the brigade's area of operations. These elements, as well as several support elements from every branch of the military, culminate to form an unstoppable brigade combat team in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom.
The other units that have supported us in our sector have done what I consider to be remarkable, heroic work.
One of the most important missions that 10th Mountain soldiers face in Iraq is helping to rebuild Iraq's army from the ground up. Military transition teams, or MITs, work and train with Iraqi soldiers day in and day out, ensuring that progress is being made.
Our tactical focus has always been on training the Iraqi army, and what I like to tell the soldiers all the time is we're here to work ourselves out of a job.
10th Mountain soldiers accompany the Iraqi army on combat missions, but it's the Iraqi soldiers that now take the lead.
The majority of the terrain and responsibility for security will be handed over to Iraqi security forces. So I've been very encouraged by the progress of the Iraqi security forces, and I think our soldiers should feel good about their contributions to enhancing their professionalism.
The 1st Brigade, 6th Iraqi Army Division, stationed primarily at Camp Justice, Iraq, is commanded by Brigadier General Jalil.
Very good commander, absolutely believes in what it is he's doing, understands the importance of treating all Iraqis with dignity and respect, as well as that his responsibility is to the government of Iraq.
General Jalil's unit, also known as the Cobra Brigade, is responsible for securing certain areas in western Baghdad. The 1st Brigade, 6th Iraqi Army Division is a quick reaction force that is ready for anything at any time. The commander of the 3rd Brigade, 6th Iraqi Army Division is Brigadier General Aziz. Nicknamed the Muthanna Brigade, the unit was named after an Arab hero who protected his nation. Now General Aziz's responsibility is to protect his.
A very dynamic leader, perhaps the best leader I've met thus far in the Iraqi army. And again, offensive mindset, understands that his responsibility is to the government of Iraq. He worked very, very hard to develop a rapport with the local governance, the local leadership in eastern and western Abu Ghraib.
The relationship between the Iraqi army and the coalition side, all of us working together, all of us, we are one family and we are one team. Yesterday, one of my soldiers wounded. All the team from the coalition side and the Iraqi side come in and put him in the ambulance and quickly send him to the American hospital because we are feeling, all of us, we are one team and one family.